What's going on, everybody? It's Darian. So I've been shooting a lot of videos lately. I haven't uploaded very many of them, if anything at all, because I kind of felt like they sucked. So I'm sure because I didn't want to rewatch them that you wouldn't want to initially watch them.
Nope.
But either way, so I'm back. I haven't really gone anywhere. Just been enjoying some, I wouldn't even call it retirement leave, just retirement. I retired from the military. I'm not even on leave anymore. I'm just not working. So either way, I just recently got accepted to join the Virginia Beach Police Department, and that's awesome. But in that light, it just made me think and reflect of everything in the military. They told me I needed to do my fingerprints. I should have done that today, but I didn't. My bad. And things like getting uniforms and blah, 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 getting fitted so I can start the academy. And I'm thinking to myself, like, man, this is going to be like boot camp all over again, where you pay for your uniforms, you get certain things, they may or may not fit. And I wanted to talk about something that I actually get a lot of questions about. Not so much so on YouTube, but in general. Since I've been active duty, a lot of people would see, and some videos on YouTube have sparked conversations, Facebook posts, Instagram, is gear issue. So you saw the title of this video. I don't know what I'm going to claim it or title it to be, but it's going to be something about issued gear versus purchased gear for military, law enforcement, special operations, fill in the blank, something like that. So either way, thanks for watching. If you like videos like this, consider subscribing, hit the comments section. It's always crazy down there. People tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, and sometimes I probably don't. But I want to talk about certain things that, like the reasons that people think everything you see on TV is gear that is always issued. Everything I've seen on movies, TV shows, advertisements have been issued. It may be issued to tier 1 operators. It may be issued to that unit specifically. It may be issued to a contractor. So there's a lot of people who make videos and advertisements for the military who will use non-military issued equipment to actually recruit people into the service. Ask me how I know. So I wanted to start off and say, not everything you see is everything that we are all issued. Not everybody who is issued a rifle or who has to utilize a rifle is rocking nods, using silencers, binary triggers, full auto, 2-stage, hairpin or hair thin sniper triggers. We're not all doing that. Only a handful of people need that extra oomph, is what they want to call it when it comes to that. So I actually took some notes down, because without notes, you're just a talking head rambling on the internet. But some people like that shit. So I wrote down, not everything you see military and law enforcement, special operators, special warfare, whatever you want to call it, that we get issued is good.
Nope.
Right? I even put it in quotes as good. It's just issued. It may be good, and it may be good for you, but it doesn't mean it's good overall. And I say that because it is issued for a reason. It has to satisfy a requirement. So myself, my background, helicopter aviation, because I obviously flew in an aircraft, a helicopter specifically, I had to be issued a helmet. It didn't mean I had to be issued the top of the line helmet, the best helmet that fit my head, the helmet that looked cool. I just had to be issued a helmet that was fit or subject for rotary wing use. When I was also issued flight equipment. Now, my flight equipment consisted of a one-piece flight suit initially during gear issue that was flame retardant or fire retardant. So it had the capability to withstand fires and high heat temperatures, something that will completely barbecue you to the bone, but at least it didn't melt on you. It just charred away. So then the fire can attack your skin directly, apparently. But every piece of gear, every kit, everything I've ever seen that somebody had, the next dude wants it just because he got it. And that does happen. I've been victim to that. And as a junior sailor, when I first grew up in the military, I kept seeing other guys get stuff, and I was like, oh, I want what he has. And I didn't even know why I wanted it. I just wanted it because he had it. You know what I mean? Just trying to keep up with the Joneses. And I think a lot of people do that. And a lot of guys can easily sell that. There's an entire market of, just the industry, you like to call it, that likes to sell shit to people who clearly don't need it, would never use it, doesn't know how to use it. And it doesn't mean you can't have it, because I believe in America, got it tattooed in the center of my chest. If you want something bad enough, go get it. If you could build a better mousetrap, help yourself. But think about this for a second. Why do you buy certain things in the first place? It's because you already have a usage or a need for it. Not just, oh, I bought it because all these operators have it, or all of these divers have it, or all of these aviation dudes have it, so I need that too. I don't have a truck. I don't own a truck, but eventually my lifestyle is getting to the point where I'm going to need a truck. So therefore I'll buy a truck. But until then, my car is doing just fine. So, same thing. I don't buy crap just for the sake of buying it because it's cheap, it's on sale. You may need this, you may need that. And don't think for a second that a lot of the people who are promoting this stuff, and it's not even some of the people you probably think about who will say, hey, if you come to my class, I'll show you how to use your rifle and you're this and you're that, blah, blah, blah. But you're gonna need this, that, this, and that. And I'm just like, nope. You don't need none of that shit. If you can't shoot your gun, or if you don't have a decent gun or a decent holster in general, I don't care if you have a helmet or a plate carrier or a chest rig or body arm, like certain things you don't need. You really just don't need that shit. Now, I have a lot of that stuff. I'm not being a hypocrite saying because I have it, you don't need it. I have it because I was issued a lot of the stuff. So I still have it. But I can tell you right now, I haven't put my flight equipment on since I took it off for my very last flight. I have no need to put it on, but I still have it as like a memento from my time in the service, as something nostalgic, as something I may donate sometime years later to a museum that might want to see the old vests and stuff like that. And I might be like, yeah, I have a couple spare vests walking around or whatever. And some of that equipment I could still utilize in different capacities. I could jury rig it, whatever it's called, outfit it completely different, come up with new developments and technology for my old platform. All my guys that are still flying, I know what you're currently wearing because I still have it. Now, because I took a step back so far that I'm completely out, I may now say, hey, you know what? We always had an issue with this capability. Now that I still have the harness, let me sit here and mess with it all day long. It's not fit for issue. It's not ready for issue. It's just mine. So I can sit here and doctor it up all I want, come up with a new development that may help further generations going on. So that's why I keep a lot of my stuff. But I want to show you guys some of the stuff I have. And this isn't a boast, this isn't a brag. Most of this crap, whatever. And you're going to be surprised on some of the cost anyway. But I wanted to talk about things. So like I said, I just got accepted to VBPD. So I'm leaving the service as a military guy who was issued stuff, combat speaking. I wasn't in direct combat. Let me just say that right now. I have been in some combat situations for sure, but I've never been in direct combat the way some of you may think, right? I'm not a door kicker or any of that stuff. I am an aviation platform. So I got called in for close air support, CASEVAC, medevac, insert, extract, whatever you want to fill in the blank, right? But I've done a lot of that stuff and I've done it all over the world. I've done a lot of cool ass missions too. But I digress. So things that I was issued, or things that I know a lot of law enforcement, military, special ops dudes are issued, are things like this. And I'm going to start from the top and kind of talk about them briefly. Number one, think tank, right? Helmets. Helmets are big. Now, not everybody is issued a helmet in the military. Matter of fact, very few people in the military are issued a helmet. You only need one in certain capacities. People like myself and pilots who you fly all the time, you will definitely be in a helmet. And not everybody who flies has a helmet. Most fixed wing guys, unless they're fast movers like jets, they don't even use helmets. They do have a comm setup, but that's it. So I'll show you what I was issued. I was issued this, right? A big HGU headgear unit, helmet gear unit 84. And it did not come with this. This is something that you can add on. It's an additional piece. This is not an issued item, although many people were issued it. And it does help stop the wind from the mic, right? The mic isn't here. It's normally lower, right around your lips. It's called a lip mic. But you know, something like that, you can go ahead and cover it up. And people have it. So I was issued this helmet. This is my second one, by the way. My first one is in the closet, had my first 1,000 hours on it. The other 2,000 hours I have on this helmet. Well, mostly on that helmet. I'd say about 90% on that helmet. And the other 10% I have on a bump helmet. And so that was issued to me. Now, the next helmet I'm going to show you is Team Wendy, what is it, X-Fill bump helmet. I was not issued that helmet. It is an authorized helmet for use in my job. And because I had a lot of neck, back, and still do have a lot of neck and back issues, I decided, me personally, to spend some coin and actually purchase that helmet. Now for me, I'm not, once again, boasting or bragging, but I have had a lot of detachments where I would get per diem. That's a per day rate of food, meals, incidentals, lodging. So there was a point where I got $155 a day to be in a place for over a month straight. So for $4,300 plus a month extra, I was like, $300 for a helmet when you're giving me $4,300 a month to kick it here in Europe? Yeah, I'll buy it. So I did that. So this is my helmet now. Now I don't wear it anymore, clearly, because I don't need to. But this helmet right here, everything on here I purchased myself, or found a way, bartered, traded things in the system. A lot of these are military. These are not real goggles. I do actually have real NVGs. These right here are just a $30 pair of fake ones because it actually sits on something. These aren't real at all. I do have a real set though, however, right? But I'm not gonna wear them. These little crappy ones or whatever. But this helmet right here, I love the fitment of it. I love the fact that I can pop my comms on and off. I like the fact that I can swivel it back and forth. And actually, you know, on the side of my face or inside of my head, I can actually look at a patient because I did a lot of medical and actually feel them breathing. I can't do that on a helmet like this. This helmet, as you can see, is actually the whole side of my ear, where my ear would be, is completely covered up. The only way for me to feel anything or do anything is to take that helmet completely off. And so after years of flying in that, a lot of people say if it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, my neck feels like it's about to break, so I had to fix it. I decided to buy a different helmet. Some people in my community, some people in my very unit were, no lie, issued this helmet. However, it took a long time and I didn't have time to wait, so I decided to open purchase this helmet. Now let me tell you something about open purchasing helmets and other gear that we're going to speak of in the military. The minute that you utilize it for a real mission or a training mission, it is not necessarily, it doesn't belong to the military, but they can place it in service. Meaning my helmet, I can't just go off the shelf, buy some helmet, use it on a flight, and then just call it quits and be like, you know what, I'm good, this is mine. Because if I get into a mishap or something happens, there will be an investigation, and then they will ask, what gear was this individual wearing? Now, when they find out I bought this crap off of Amazon, eBay, a local supply store, whatever, and I got hurt, that will be the determination factor as to why I got hurt. Even if we got shot down by a missile, me not wearing that helmet that they got issued will be in that as a causal factor somehow, the way they do it. So either way, I wanted to talk about that before people get all like, oh, well, you didn't have this. I mean, I have multiple sets of NVGs. I've got PVS 21s, Ambus 9s, another set that I'm not even gonna talk about right now. But yeah, so helmets, that's a thing, right? Ground guys, people in Humvees, special warfare, special ops, special force, call it whatever you want. They're all the same to a point. Like I said before in a previous video, if you get specialized training and special pay, you are in a special ops, special force, or special warfare type unit or division. So helmets, big one, whether it's ballistic, non-ballistic, flight approved, fill in the blank, helmets. Now, something with helmets that I just mentioned earlier is comms. A lot of people need comms. You may not get the best comms. This helmet right here, the comms on the inside of the initial issue absolutely suck. They have a horrible liner for your head where you sweat. We get hot spots, bad headaches. You could barely hear, things like that. Now my helmet, thankfully, was equipped with a gel liner, so I had a lot more like sealant around my ear, and so I had a better seal, so I could hear better. I didn't have to turn the volume up as loud as other people on the same station. But with this other helmet right here, I have Comtac XPIs. Good. Anyway, so I have Comtacs, right? So Peltors. A lot of people will say, oh yeah, you got to get the Peltors from 3M. These are expensive. These can cost, anywhere from $400 to $700. Depends on which model you get. And I did not pay for those either.
Nope.
However, I was willing to pay for those. So comms, that's a big one. Now, I don't need comms that EOD or SEALs or SWCT use, although I do talk to them. I talk to them via the helicopter. I don't talk to them ground to ground. The only time I would need something like that is if I was shot down and now I am an IP or an isolated personnel. We do have certain radios that we get issued for certain missions when you are in a specific theater. For your average Navy helicopter dude, we all use a standard radio mainly for survival purposes, and that's about it. Ear Pro. Once again, this helmet right here, the Ear Pro, ear protection, is also a two-part thing with the comms. The comms built into the helmet also protect my ears from just basic stuff, right? Life, limb, or eyesight is what we talk about. Those are the big things when it comes to patients and stuff like that. Or you can go to any medical facility, or you're a critical patient, is anything that you can lose your life, limb, or eyesight. Hearing is not really that big, but it is still one of the major sensors that we have as humans. So next will be eye protection. So you have Ear Pro, I can listen. So my comms and Ear Pro are both one on either helmet. Eye Pro, this right here, as you can see, issued as well, not one but two. I took the other one off because it was scratched all the hell, but this is a dark visor, and we are issued a clear visor as well. So this is an MVG mount visor. Just put it down over your face. Now what that's supposed to stop is obviously sand, dirt, debris, all that other crap with that. Now what about when I'm flying with night vision goggles? Because if I'm using the issued helmet with night vision goggles, I cannot use a visor at all.
Nope.
I would need to use something else, like a set of actual safety glasses, to still have the sand, not hit me directly in the eye while my eyes are completely exposed to landing in dirt, snow, soot, whatever, and then still be on night vision goggles. So some of us are issued things like this. Once again, all the other special warfare, special operator guys, they're issued so much crap. I've been issued so much crap, I actually started giving it away because I felt like those people, like on the damn TV shows, hoarders. I had an entire room full of equipment that I know I would not use. It was just cool to say I had it. I know I wasn't using it, so I was like, hey, do you guys want this stuff? And they were like, yeah, sure, I'll take that. And I was like, you're gonna turn into the next guy. Now, some of them were able to use it. Other people wanted it just because they wanted something to say they had it. Either way, so eye protection, ear protection, those are big. We're all issued stuff like that. As a matter of fact, I think everybody in the military who's issued a helmet is also issued eye and ear protection. It kind of goes hand in hand. You don't just have a helmet with no eye protection or ear protection. You may work on a flight deck, you may work on aircraft, or something, vehicles where you need some sort of head protection, and because of that you're going to be using loud tools or firearms. You need ear protection and eye protection, kind of go hand in hand. Other things, gloves. I was issued normal green military issued aviation gloves. Those were supposed to help, once again, with fire retardant materials. They were supposed to give us in the back and up front, pilots and crewmen, better dexterity, our ability to use our fingers like normal as if we weren't wearing gloves. I was issued winterization type stuff, winter gloves that pretty much, I look like a cartoon character with gloves. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I couldn't do anything, maybe except pull the trigger on the M240. I was not really good at what it was outside of that. I was issued gloves for search and rescue, specifically gloves that I was able to get wet so I could sit there and hold trail lines and remove shroud lines and other crap from a survivor in the water. I wouldn't jump out with my flight gear. I would jump out with my search and rescue gear, or SAR gear. So gloves are a big one. A lot of people get issued something and they may find it cheaper elsewhere, like Oakley's, Wiley X, your favorite brand, fill it in. You can still buy gear that you were not issued and use it, but like I said, it needs to be placed in your record, placed in service, and the unit says, yes, we know this individual is flying or using this gear instead of the issued gear, but you still have to have that with you as a minimum equipment. You need, at minimum, a helmet, at minimum, ear, eye protection, gloves. See where this is going? All right, cool. Next, safety shoes / boots, safety boots, whatever. You need to get issued some sort of footwear that is actually going to be required for your job. Once again, search and rescue. We had times where we were issued boots like we were maintenance personnel because it was a flight deck boot. We don't work on the flight deck. We just walk across the flight deck to get into the helicopter, and then we work once we take off. So we're different, but then again, we're still NavAir, Navy Aviation, dropping the hat, one size fits all, doesn't matter. But there are times where, as if I was a search and rescue crewman, I can wear wetsuits and booties and other stuff. We can wear Ultimas, whatever you want to call them. And that satisfied you to wear that as a booty / something to walk across the flight deck with, like essentially a waterproof Chuck Taylor. I have the tan version. I never had the black version. Didn't really care to. I kind of took, one color to knock them both out. That's me. So you may get issued boots, Salomon's, North Face, depends if you're a ground guy or a police officer. Matter of fact, I was just at the training academy the other day and I saw all the officers wearing different boots. There wasn't you have to wear this boot and that's it. Clearly they were wearing different boots. They all had the same type of shirt, pants and stuff like that, belt. But when it came to boots, it seems like there is a requirement that the boot has to meet, or the shoe, whether it's 6-inch, 9-inch, heel, whatever, steel toe, non-steel toe, fill in the blank. So once again, buy what you want, but make sure it's not something that you are buying just to buy. If they issue you something and it's great, rock it. Just stay with it. Harness, chest rigs, plate carriers, body armor, fill in the blank. A lot of these go hand in hand. So I had a flight harness that was actually within my vest. So I had a vest that took armor, but I also had a harness that was integrated in it. So I had a little bit of all of that. I never had issued a chest rig. We're not ground guys, ground operators to get chest rigs. Most of them still wore plate carriers, but we did have body armor. We never had to have ceramic plates, except back in the day. We wore either a body armor, like a soft armor, and then put our vest over it, or we actually were issued soft armor that went in our vest, which currently wasn't used. So yeah, if you know that there's something out there that's better fitting for you, that's fine. That doesn't mean your department or your unit has to get it for you. They just have to provide these things: helmets, gear, ear and eye pro, gloves, safety shoes, some sort of body armor, harness equipment, whether that be, like I said, something that has a lifting capability. Being in the military, because I'm in a helicopter, I knew we had to lift people out. And if they don't have any device, or we don't have a rescue device, does that person have anything on their person or their kit where they have the ability to be hoisted or lifted directly in what they're wearing? Also, I just talked about clothing, fire retardant clothing. For those of us who needed to be in fire retardant stuff, I know even like law enforcement guys have to at times. Definitely firefighters are. They don't just say, hey, go walk around in your fire department stuff and then go fight a fire like that. They are literally issued a specific helmet, boots, gloves, everything for that mission, and so it makes sense. But yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of departments now have been getting lenient with a little bit more of the supply. It definitely helps out to be able to wear what fits you better, but it also comes back to you're a part of the team and stop trying to be an individual. So if I'm on a mission and I look fully kitted out for absolutely no reason, and the next guy who's on the same mission I am, same quals I am, looks like your bare bones generic dude, either he is living in the Stone Age or I'm way in the future. And there needs to be something where we're meeting up, right? And sometimes change is slow, and maybe he's slowly getting there, or the gear is get issued, and maybe I just got it first. So think about that. Clothing is a big one. Whether that's multicam, green sage, theater specific color, make sure that you are buying something that still satisfies the requirement and not just, oh, this is cool. Crye Precision makes this, so therefore it's got to be good. Okay, it probably is good. That doesn't mean you can wear it. Matter of fact, everything I had to wear was specifically on a list of stuff that had to be approved by the Navy's aviation program. If it wasn't approved by their program, couldn't wear it. Now, I could have passengers who could wear it. I could have ground guys who could wear it, but me as a crew member could not wear it. So think about that. Wetsuits for some of us who are actually swimmers. Like myself, I was air rescue. I was an actual rescue swimmer for the Navy. I was issued a completely different set of kit for search and rescue. So the wetsuit, a shorty wetsuit when it gets hot, just a wetsuit top. I was also issued a full wetsuit, top and bottom, Farmer John's what we call it. And that was for colder climates, colder water. But then there were times where I was even issued a dry suit. Now, a lot of the EOD guys and SEALs that I've worked with, we've all jumped out together at times, and we were very much looking the same. We all had the same sort of thing. We all were issued a mask. We were all issued some sort of, what is it called? Just a hood. It's called a hood, not a helmet. Just a wetsuit hood that just goes over your face and pretty much just leaves like a shinobi ninja spot so you can still see, putting a mask on. You were issued a snorkel for those of us who had to snorkel. Gloves, wetsuit type gloves, a wetsuit or a dry suit, and that's also an anti-exposure suit. So the dry suit kept you dry because it did not expose you to water. Just your face, your hands were the only things exposed. But it was also utilized during COVID. I've had to do one of the first COVID evacuations from a ship to shore here on the East Coast, and I had to wear that. It was hot, and I had to wear my dry suit and then certain gloves, get completely taped up everywhere before we came in contact with that patient. It was atrocious, and we all know that was garbage. With those gas masks, those are really, really big. So a gas mask is something else that you're going to be issued. It has to be able to fit your helmet that's issued or the helmet that is purchased off the shelf. But to each their own. Everyone's going to have a different fitment. People who need oxygen, people who don't need oxygen, people who have certain type of helmets. Once again, depends on your mission. You will be outfitted for a gas mask and stuff like that. Those are going to be things that you typically don't go out and purchase on your own, because there will be things that are going to be proprietary. They will only work with certain military equipment. So I would stay away from trying to purchase things like that are specific. But hey, once again, your call. Other things that special ops, military, and law enforcement guys are issued are firearms. Not everybody, as I stated, are issued firearms, but those who are not issued the same type of firearm with the same crap. And I will say that because a lot of the things I see being pushed around as the latest and greatest, and I do own a lot of it, it is just what it is. It's crap. It does not make you a better shooter. And if it does, keep going. But if you can't hit the target with extra stuff on it, or a different grip, or a different trigger, or a different optic, and you still can't understand the fundamentals, I don't care. I'm not impressed. If anything, I am the opposite. I feel bad for you if you have all of that stuff. You have all the cheat codes stapled, M-locked, and glued to your rails and all your receivers, and you still can't hit the target. You got a problem. But I don't want to sit here and make fun of you, because I'm guilty of stuff. I'm not the best shooter, but I'm definitely not a bad shooter. Gotta say that. So firearms is like I was saying. A lot of people are saying, "Hey, I need an EOTech. I need it to be NVD compatible," but they don't even have MVGs or any sort of nods at all. So I don't know why you feel you need the EOTech or the optic or the holographic sight or whatever it may be that's night vision compatible when you don't own nods or have any give a shit to own nods. And they're expensive. That doesn't mean because I have them that you need them. I have them. I'm comfortable with them. I've been on them for over 20 years. I'm no expert on them, but I'm definitely not a novice. Matter of fact, I have more time on goggles than most people do who are famous for utilizing goggles. Remember, I use them as a method of safety for myself, my crew, and as well as ground crew. Right? If I had to insert an entire group of special operators or extract them, and I needed to make sure that aircraft was steady, I was on night vision goggles, looking at the trees, looking at the cabin, looking at the ground forces, looking at everything. So I look at MVDs, MVGs differently from an aviation perspective as somebody does from a ground perspective. So either way, I don't think MVDs are something that you go out and purchase on your own. If you're issued something that's green phosphorus, I do not think you can go out there and say, I want white phos because it's cooler and I got them. Maybe you can, but I would not suggest it. Either way, if they give you something like MVDs, just take them. Why not? Belts, that's another one. Not everybody has a belt, but for those of us who have belts, I think there are specific issues with different type of belts. That doesn't mean, like, matter of fact, perfect example, law enforcement. Every guy I see in law enforcement has the same sort of belt. They don't have their own 511 belt or something that they saw on Amazon, which nothing against them because there are some really great belts with Cobra buckles and riggers, lanyards and D-rings and all the crap that you'll probably never use. But they just have a standard issue belt. You will have the same belt that she has, and she will have the same belt that he has, blah, blah, blah. Now, of course, there will be differences. Matter of fact, a buddy of mine is on Virginia Beach PD, and he recently passed everything in selection for SWAT. So he does have a different firearm than the average patrol officer. He does have different things, different setups, but that's fine for that because he's in a special operations unit within the department. Everybody doesn't need that. They need that. So everybody else, you have this belt where maybe this hand select few need a different setup for a different mission. And magazines. So going back to the carriers, the harnesses, the plate carriers, the kit, body armor, you will probably have your magazine set up on that or a belt, which goes back into the belt or the harness. I was issued I was not issued anything to put magazines on my flight equipment. I was actually issued an actual like belt with an actual leg drop holster. I didn't have anything crazy, but that's what I was issued. So if it works for you, great. They did not mind for things like that. They said, you know what? I don't care which holster you use. I don't care which belt you use, but we ordered these. You're going to get this. If you want something different, it will be for this firearm. It won't be a universal holster. It will be for the firearm that we use. And so those were issues that I've seen that people had. A lot of guys in the military complained and said, I want a better setup because of this. I don't like the way this is working. And they're right to express that. If you're the one getting sent downrange, you have every right to complain about something that doesn't work for you. And if you can purchase it, by all means, go ahead. But some people will purchase something for absolutely no reason other than just to have the latest and greatest. And like I said, I'm not innocent. I've been guilty of that. I've been in 21 plus years. I've definitely bought some stuff I did not need. Still have it to this day and look at it and say, what am I going to do with this? I have no clue why I have that. But hey, whatever. So either way, let me know in the comment section below if you can, anything that you guys think of that I haven't said already, if I didn't get too long-winded, that you know for a fact you can change out in different departments, different military units, special operations units, civilian units. I don't want to think it's all military, but I can only speak to what I've done. And now that I'm going into law enforcement, which is definitely going to be different, I know I'm going to be issued certain things that I may or may not like for a certain reason. So either way, let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching. If you've watched this long, you might as well subscribe if you haven't already. So either way, that's my video for the day. This is Darian, and I'm out. Peace.